Hey, we are
Hey,
we're in business.
we're doing it. Okay. Um, I think I should probably jump on a laptop for this one as well. So, um, the cafe closes soon. Um, all right, sorry. There's not really a cafe near me, so well, let's just get started, and I'll find a place for my laptop when I can.
What do you propose we start with? That was what I'm excited about is see here I got this wish list of things that the agent could and should do. And I was thinking we could turn this into a prompt, but that might be um, something we shouldn't necessarily record. Might need to be a little more cautious with that info, but I'm excited to, you know, start telling the AI to build the dependency list based on the links here. And but that may or may not be pressing, but it's just an idea that I have. I have this info of what I want the system to do. Um, I'm starting to think maybe there's two different agents. One could be like a marketing type agent that connects to all the social, and then the other agent would be more like an admin operational agent. So, more than one agent. Maybe like a mother for the ops and like Eliza for the marketing. But that's just like intuitive, not necessarily correct.
Yeah, so we can definitely clarify one thing with Mother. Mother is I didn't know what it was, but I had a call with Kumkar, and so he explained it. And so Mother is a um, a platform so people can share their specialized AI agents on that platform. And
Mm,
we definitely want to have specialized AI agents. So it's great to build a relationship with them, but we haven't done that ourselves. However, we're way more likely to raise money if we can figure out some numbers with them. If
mm,
our AI agents on their platform, we expect to make X amount. Um,
ah,
so yeah, so that kind of thing. That's where Mother's good. And then some other people using an AI agent for their own reasons, and then us. Um, making money off of that, and then that being a reason why people give us capital to build AI agents because they're anticipating that, that use. So that's Mother, and then Eliza is, yeah, that's more an applied agent. I haven't. I think if I remember correctly, that's AI 16Z. Um, but then, yeah, I don't know a lot about Eliza. You're gonna have to research that, but I think that's an actual agent of some sort. Just on
Yeah.
the it's done in a Web3 way. But yeah, you're gonna have to check on Eliza. So and then so one way to look at it, there's this new thing. It's not a API. It's let me see. Let me see if I can figure it out. Actually, can you just ask an AI what it is? So you can go to um, yeah, can you go to the an AI like a chat AI and then ask it, hey, what are AIs using instead of APIs?
For what? Just like
Um,
that?
to, yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, it's searching.
You might have cracked
There
the
we go.
agentic.
No, it's something. Can you write? It's something like an MPU. You write that. Like it's yeah, MPU.
MPU?
Yeah, try that. Yeah. No, it's say. Can you write? It's what uh is what OpenAI is switching to instead of an API. Um, hopefully it's good.
Yeah. Search your own dang structure.
No,
Assistance.
no, no. Here, I'll have to do some research. Give me a sec here.
Okay.
That AI ain't smart enough. Earth darn it. It's Sam I'm looking at. Sam, the creepy guy. I'll get there. Okay, it's MCP. And so can you ask the AI, what's the difference between MCP and an API? Can yeah, can you write different NPC and AI, show me some code. Show me some code. Show me some REST code.
Rest?
I think that's good. REST code.
Oh, cool. Dang. Did it do anything for you?
Well, let's see. That's it. What is this one? How does this work? Okay,
There's
so class REST API, class REST. Okay, go to now the MCP. I don't know what MCP is. Okay, go down to TLDR. So what's the
That's
okay then type what's the difference between an MCP and a prompt then? Like isn't the MCP just like a unary API that you throw a prompt in?
wow.
And now we're stepping in the realm of wizardly nuance. Oh my, yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, you wizard, you. Tell me about Gandalf.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
Let's see here. Um, Look at that. See
Hmm.
that right there? Yep. Wizard with a cat. Nice colors. Nolan's colors.
Wow. So it's we're designing the brain.
Okay. So what is it saying? A prompt? What is a prompt? Instruction for Tell me about Advocate user info. Okay, so I'm confused how it's how is an MCP not? So is an M isn't can you ask you this? Is an MCP a combination of prompts and API? So it has methods, but you can just throw text into the method.
Is an MPCP a
Of
combo of prompts
prompt.
and
Yeah,
APIs
yeah.
that what?
Like you call specific methods, but then you just type your text intent in there. Yeah, try that.
Oh
What?
wow. Well, this is because it's my private GPT, so it's a little more magical. Just a little preface.
Um. Okay. So expose MVC for exposable function. So okay. So the it does this. The AI does this. User info, get user info. 1, 2, 3. Send message. Okay. So the AI. So okay.
It's using the dependencies we'll put in the links I'm gathering.
So so can you ask the AI if it prefers? Does it prefer when a user speaks to it in a CLI expression?
CLI expression like that.
Yeah, expression. Yeah, to a paragraph.
I didn't
Okay,
really
my take was
say
this. My take was my take there. Oh, scroll down. I just thought it's my take. My take. Here we go. They're talking to an AI with MC. It's the bronze. I translate them into like behind the scenes. See? Aha! I got it. Look at that. That's right. So that's what's happening here. Well, this is so interesting. This is really interesting.
well
So with Nani, yeah.
it's over my head.
All right. Well, we can talk about it. Um, yeah, let's talk about it. This is
Okay.
a great little educational thing.
Okay.
So with Nani, you wanted to use Nani, and Nani is a great interface. but when you interact with the AI, it lets you interact with just one smart contract, and they're expanding quick. I think because of them MCPs, but it's within its own. It's a DAO. It's a manager of the DAO, and whatever levers it can pull as that DAO manager, that's what it can do, and it can't do anything. That's Nani. So, but because of that, interacting with Nani, because it's interacting directly with running functions, I built a oh yeah, and it is running in command line interface, so a version of that when you're texting with it. So then I went, okay, well, let me just do another command line interface on top of like a bash on top of the Nani, the bash of the Nani actually is running on. So I told Nani to go, okay, just just put this bash in, just fabricate it, and then I can do all these shorthands. So that to me is what these MCPs are doing. Is they actually the best language, like text is the universal interface, but the best language to communicate is CLI. It's the most fit for the job, basically. It's a way to put it. So same with programming language. But the nice thing about CLI is that it's the it's these function names or just the method descriptor, and so it's not verbose like programming languages, but it's also concise like programming languages, and but it's a lot easier than writing programming language. In a lot of ways, it's easier than natural language. Also, so this way I was saying, hey, I really like translating your natural language to the command line interface language, but we can as humans just do that command line interface language. So do you have a Nani account? Maybe we can make this a little bit more concrete. And then not just that, but you have a Nani account, and if you don't, we'll make one. It's cool. You want to explore Nani, so let's do that now. And then
yeah,
and then the other was the bashes. Just real quick, you know what a bash is? It's not. We'll talk about that before we go.
What's a bash?
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So let's go on to bash. So why don't you ask that AI what a bash interface is? I'll tell you. Yeah.
Well, I definitely use the command line interface more than coding things, personally.
All right. So do you know CP? Do you know how to do you've done like CP to like copy files and such in terminal. Have you done that?
What does CP stand for?
Copy.
I mean, probably.
Oh well. So we should do command line basics. So can I hit Control Alt T? I think it is. Yeah, I think it's Control T. This is what Linux is cool. You might put up a bunch of dumb shit, but remember this. Remember this. It's not totally worth it, but it's still great. Okay, so then why don't you type ls? That was one of those commands there. The ls. Hit that one. So that lists the files in your home drive. Yeah, that's what that does. ls for list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So okay, so then another one, SSH. That one's really important. See that one down there, SSH. That one is how you won't be able to do anything with it right now, but that's how you. It's the same principle as your wallet. So when you have a public-private key pair with your wallet, this is the same thing. So it's a public-private key pair. That's how it works. But for it's how you log into a different computer, but you log in through the command line interface. But the command line interface is the whole computer. The graphic user interface that you're used to is actually running within the command line interface, and so that's why it's so great that you SSH in, and then also the latency is great because it's just text. It's not graphic user interface has a lot more information that's conveying. It's conveying the entire display's information, where this is just sharing some text files. So it's way less uh, bandwidth overhead, or data transmission or command line interface. So SSH is really, really powerful combined with command line interface because you basically have the whole internet with this, like the real internet. When machines are running shit, selling, buying, selling on the blockchain, it's all through the terminal. It's all through command line interface. So,
Cool.
yeah. So, okay. So, then another one, why don't we do CD? So if you do LS, do you see some of those are blue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So CD is, probably like, what needs to go into the directory. I don't know what it stands for right now, but CD is like go into the directory. So do CD space and then go into, I don't know, your, um, go into your music directory. Why not that? So CD space uppercase M. Uh, uh, well, try that. Try it with lowercase m. See what happens.
Mm,
Yeah. So CD
nothing.
and then uppercase M and then hit the tab button. Now to hit the tab button. Before you finish it, uh, okay, yeah, there you go. Okay. Then hit enter. Hit enter. There you go. Now
No.
you're in music, and now hit LS. Oh, so you don't have anything in music? You don't have any files in there. Okay. Hit CD space dot dot. Okay, that's gonna have you go to the top level. So hit enter. Yeah, you're in the top level. Okay, now let's hit LS again. Yep, enter. Okay, why don't you go into desktop now? So CD space uppercase D, and then just hit the tab button after you. Oh, okay. So then add E after that. So yeah, tab button, enter. Great. Okay, then hit LS. Ah, see, there you go. Cool. So then if you go into your desktop on your if you close this now or not close it, but just like move over to your desktop where you can see your desktop. You'll see, yeah. So you see these are the same things. Let's try to find a file that's the same one so we know it's the same thing. Uh,
Yeah.
cool. So let's these are the two different ways of understanding uh, the information that's shared in your machine, either the command line interface or the graphic user interface. So it's really important if you want to be a wizard with computers to understand that this is one coin and these are the two faces to this coin. And so and if we want to be exact, it's actually, at least for non-Windows machines, the command line interface is the parent object, but in any case, okay. So the bash commands, that's what that stuff was. The LS, the SSH, all that stuff we just went over. A lot of
Mm,
reasons, like when you can type that word in and it does something, that's
mm-hmm.
bash. So it's a
Okay.
programming language. But it's also a programming language with a lot of defined functions already in it. So it's a highly opinionated programming language, and it's so that's basically what I'm interpreting what they call MCPs is that it's taking our natural language expression or normal paragraph writing, and it's converting that into a bash type system,
Yeah.
more like JavaScript, but kind of a combination of JavaScript and bash. And then it's telling that to another AI. So another way to look at it is condensing the information we convey. Why don't you ask it that? Why don't you ask it? Can you ask it that? Can you say, so is the MCP kind of like an information compression? So you can swap between machines. An information compression of our intention, um, paragraph format.
That.
one sec. Oh wait, our paragraph. So is embassy kind of like a input progression of our paragraphs? That would work. I'd like to do intentions. Just playing around with the idea of intentions.
I didn't catch that.
Intentions. If you can, use paragraph intentions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, but again, we can speak in this language as well. It's actually pretty good language. I think, and I would call it a local language because it's just shorthand. You know, that's what it is. It's shorthand. So
Okay.
I think it's actually really comfortable for humans as well. And so yeah, so that's really great that we have that deeper understanding of of that. So, but it's still ultimately an API. Okay, so that's something we've also figured out. It's way more intent based. It's this really cool, basically LLMs being a compiler thing that I need to write a paper on. And again, we have Nani um, as well as coordination on network that is saying, hey, look at these languages. So Bash is a language type, but also Node-RED is a language type. So coordination on networks, that's more Node-RED, and what we're doing here is more a combination of Bash and JavaScript. So like Node.js, JavaScript, because we use the spawn function in Node.js. I know there's some technical stuff, but at least
Can
those
we?
words, you use those words. But do you want to explore Nani right now? But sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Can you write me a blog based on this info? There we go. I just wrote a blog. Damn. This is ridiculous. Okay, so we can go into Nani. What I would what I was thinking is maybe we start we start writing. See, it starts with I put Nani because you use Nani. I don't necessarily know how we're using it or what we're using it for, but I put it here. And so what I was saying is we could go through this and rewrite it according to what we just figured out as a prompt for coordination network.
Yeah, so this is we got a lot of clarity what we just did. That's why I listened to what you wrote and then well ultimately what we're connect is we're connecting APIs together. That's what we're doing. And then I just recently learned that there's this thing that is new that's MCP that I didn't understand. I understand that OpenAI just is prioritizing that now, and I believe that's what Mother uses also. So, but it's I just didn't know what it was, and now I do. It's very similar to what I've discovered, and but I think what I've well this AI this conversation you had is a great conversation. So we should definitely keep track of that conversation. Do you mind actually taking the link to that chat you just had?
Yeah,
Do you know how to share a link?
yeah.
Share the link.
Let me see if I can. Can you make an artifact from
Oh
this?
wait, you just okay. So here's how I do it. Great. And this is good for my fair market value as well. So what I want is it's not an artifact. Well, like an artifact is okay. Um, whatever. But what we want is we want the actual link because the link then I know that it's the actual AI. So if you
Okay.
share a file with me, like it's fine between you and I. I've got this recording, but with my fair market value.ai, like that system we're building out, it's recognizing that if there's certain domain names that we can trust, like OpenAI.com, and so if somebody sends us a link, something from that domain name, that is the a way that's a proof, or it's a way we can trust that the this statement is coming from this AI. So yeah, so if you just go to the over to the left, that thing that's closed off, that with the blue button there, yeah. open sidebar. And then if you go to where we just today's chat, so the chat we're doing right now. Oh, I see over there. You can just do the top right, the share button. That
Okay.
should work too. Yeah, and then create link, and then you just paste into this conversation. And yeah, really got to get that blog post out. But but I'm glad that we're on the right track. So basically, yeah. So you want to when you're like, can you also type? Thank you. Can you also type into the AI? Can you explain to me what PipeDream is?
Man, I just like him constantly getting my mind blown with this stuff. I don't even I like comprehend 50% maybe.
Oh,
I
sorry.
gotta I
PipeDream.
got
Can you type? Yeah, that's all right. We got to record it and we're living in it. Can you type? PipeDream is PipeDream as an API company.
um, so this is how we connect the APIs.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys.
Look at that.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
have,
So basically, yep. So basically, yeah, PipeDream is, oh, I think, the easiest way for you to say,
uh,
okay, there's this computer system. I want to connect it with this other computer system. So it can use traditional computer systems as well as AI computer systems. So yeah, so I think PipeDream is definitely something you should explore because it can help you. Because that's when the query you did at the beginning of this call, that's where it's easy to conceptualize, really hard to actualize because you're basically saying, can this one machine talk to these like 30 other machines, right? And each machine is totally different specs and whatever. So
yeah.
that's why it gets tough because it's just like in any other machine environment. If you're using metric, it's imperial. It's the same thing. So, but you can, because it's all ones and zeros. I guess it's easier here because we do know it's APIs. We do know it's that underlying thing. So if a system doesn't have an API exposure, then you're not going to be able to talk to it. So you only
Okay.
really can talk to it to the extent that its API is exposed. And then so it's application protocol interface. So where it allows you to interface with it, but beyond that command line interface level, basically. So, I mean, you could even think about a website that you're clicking through as like an API, just a
Yeah.
human grade, version of it. But it ultimately does channel through these REST calls and these. Um, um, uh, so, so there's this really cool way that we have AI talk to other AI because we don't have to be so exact. Like an API has to be it has to be like the actual deterministic levers that like actually line up with each other and stuff. Where now with AI, we can do kind of rough and then it will auto calibrate. So we can go, it's in this vicinity, and then the AI will be able to go, okay, I can then um, I can then go the rest of the way. So you only need to shoot like 90% accurate, and then it will lock into the rest of it. So that's basically the difference. API, you have to it's all manual aim, and then with this MCP, it's there's some um, uh, recalibration while the payload is. That's a way to think about it. Sort of different discipline that hopefully get the underlying just fundamental pattern, information pattern that's going on here. So hopefully that made a little bit more sense. But yeah, do you want to now jump into Nani and have some fun?
Yeah, let's have fun. This is fun. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
last time I tried to get into Nani, I couldn't, but
Nani,
yeah. Tell
Majide.
t tell me what to do.
Uh, well, I guess yeah, DAO.
DAO. I haven't seen this.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it in some while. So, um, yeah, you want to just get into the DAO participation, acquire Nani. They can earn govern
What is Nani for? I mean, what are we using it for?
access governance chat. I think that's what you want. Yeah, here we are.
Explain. Doesn't let me.
We got to authenticate. Log
Okay.
in. See that top thing there.
Oh,
Log in.
okay. Oh, okay. 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 I'm confused. Verify your account. Wait in. Sign in.
You're
Come
just
on,
not
baby.
there yet. No need to be confused. You just ain't there yet. Okay, I need to go into a shop and order a sandwich. So it might be a minute.
Okay,
Delayed
I'm in.
ordering on the week. Yeah, I'm gonna take a pause and
Okay.
order some food. Actually, they might
What
have a line. Just give me a second.
info do I need to connect this? Do I say API?
I don't want to walk back that. Yeah, just play around with the system.
Telegram to Tally's API. Okay. Uh, well, okay.
Yeah, I'm back. How's it going?
I asked a couple queries and it's not giving me any info. It's like I'll, it's saying the API for Nani is on Tally and it needs to support check the chain. I said, well, we're doing optimism, and it says, okay, let me check, but it's not giving me any. I'm like, how do
Yeah,
I
tip.
plug this? How do I plug this into my agent? It's like, you know, it's Tally's API right here.
Well, there you go.
And I'm like, well, give me more. And it's like gone blank.
Yeah, so why don't you look up and so that's the thing. This AI is not it's not that's what I was saying before. It's a closed AI. It's there to run the smart contracts in that is governing the DAO. So it's not like it's a different it's a very different application. It's a very specific application. There's not gonna be able to do these things. Um, exactly. So that makes sense. Can you ask it if it has a bash, like a command line bash?
Oh my God. Really? Gonna make me log in again? Oh, bullshit. Oh God. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm still trying to comprehend Nani's utility, but I get you're saying it's talking to smart contracts type of thing. I don't know where it's trying to go here. Sign message, sign. Okay. Do you have a batch? What'd you say?
Bash. Remember that?
Yeah.
The bash thing? Yeah. So we're asking, does it have a bash? A CLI, a bash command line interface.
Mm-hmm.
And what does it say here? I don't have
It's
access. There you go. See, that's a bash. That's a bash. So whatever. So I don't have direct access to a bash CLI.
okay.
I'm in the interface.
Okay, so
So if you can go back to it, you ask it. Um, so you can only call limited methods, and you can't do anything else at all.
mm,
Or, right? This will help you understand what Nani is.
okay. So what
Yeah.
do I do now?
Yeah. Ask it that question. That question. So ask it. So you can only execute certain um, expressions, and otherwise you can't search the internet or do any other functions. Oh, do you see though? It can access market conditions, so it does have access to some um, internet stuff. But that's I think this is a great description if you're trying to understand what the hell Nani is. It's like it's so you can do DAO investing and all that other stuff, like but nothing else. Like that's it. So, you got tokens under your management, and then you exchange them for other tokens. So you need to know what those other tokens prices are. But otherwise, That's it. You're really just there to run the functions in the smart contract. Can you ask it where these methods are stored so you can look up the smart contract in a block explorer? Okay, the contracts you want to inspect is the one it can execute. So you can write, you just shared all those functions you can run. What's the address you're running them from? Sorry, maybe it should have been after you're running them through. That's it. That address right there, the one with a bunch of zeros. Because Ross is fancy. So that's what we want to look up. So let's go to base scan or ether scan, whichever one, and look up that address.
Uh, got my cut and paste working. It wasn't working before. It thinks I'm human. Okay, here we are, sir.
Okay, so let's look at the contract. You can go to contract there. A little
Um,
green tab.
green tab.
Next to
This
token transfer. Next to
think so.
token transfer and events.
Uh,
You know where all the meat and potatoes is in there.
all the meat and potatoes.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
contract.
Okay, now right. Let's look at the right. Scroll up. Yeah, go to right.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Where's right?
Right contract next to code.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
There you go. So look at that. Let's see what it said it could execute. Let's see if it lined up.
Uh, that's proposed. Check support say. Look up DAO memberships. You can also mint, burn, and transfer ownership.
Those don't line up because it's got tally, yeah.
No.
So can you grab the URL for this one here and click on it and say, okay, I'm looking for the tally contract. So share this here with it and say, I don't see these aren't the same methods that you mentioned earlier. I'm looking for the tally contract. Well, we're not getting the answers we want here,
No.
but Um,
This is not
so be,
answer.
well, wait. Let's not get angry at it. That's not gonna help anybody.
Okay.
Um, so, so basically, okay. So why don't you? Can you go back up above where the tally thing is and copy paste in there and be like, I'm looking for these methods. Do you control these methods?
I'm looking for these methods. Can you what?
Yeah, do you control these methods? Can you execute these methods?
Oops. This is bullshit. It's got nothing.
Okay. Can you ask it? So what can I execute with you? What function can I execute with you? There we go. That's a great way. There we go. We found the right answer. Um, can you say, well, how can I look up where can I find these functions in a block explorer? Where can I find these functions in a block explorer? Okay, so but some of your functions, the ones listed um, in that zero zero, then copy paste that 001.
Uh,
Okay, great. And that are direct, or do they also go through the same API?
oh, we got some yoga going on in the other room, so
This is great, right? If you go, wait, at the very bottom it says, when you use my intent transfer, I prepare the transactions. Okay, what's that? Oh wait.
So yeah, some of the functions are direct interfaces to smart contract methods, while others are API utilities that automate with various services. There you go. We got our answer. That's what Nani does. So Nani does all of that stuff it said it does, and some of that stuff is its own DAO, and other stuff is it using an API service. Can you ask it who is the API service provider?
That's the tally, right? Wow. That tells me more than anything.
There you go. Yeah. So how many separate API services does it use in all?
Looks like 9. How many API services do you use? Oh my God. 10. Okay.
So it can't do everything you want, but it can do all that.
Well, now I see why we would plug into it, because it would do all this so we don't have to do it. Right?
It's a DAO. So think of it as a DAO. So it's a
Okay.
DAO. So we're building out the overall Web3 legal infrastructure, and we're recognizing a DAO is like a car. Well, where are the roads? Like there's legal agreements are more than just companies, basically. So right, we got a DAO, we got a company in a box, and that's what Ross is doing. That's what we're getting really close to. So we've got a manager of a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That can interact with the financial markets. So some of the skills also that the kind of company he wants to build, which is more an investing kind of finance company. But arguably, all companies, if you're selling just normal widgets, you want to have a really great financing branch so you can continue to do this stuff that actually matters to you, like running a restaurant or whatever. So arguably, this would be really good to run a financial vehicle, the holding company, period, right? I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so it can do some things no other machine can do, because it can interact directly with the DAO. It can make move money on the treasury. No other machine can do that. But it also isn't there to be a jack of all trades AI. It's there to run a company. It's specifically a holding company, I would say.
Yeah. So what would we write in coordination network to connect to this?
Well, we'd have APIs. So we would probably, I think it's pretty easy actually, because coordination network is just a language. So it'd be the API with whatever AI we're using, that language is triggering. So that language is interacting with one or more AIs. So Nani doesn't have an API exposure, but it does. So we would just have to figure out the API exposures of Nani, which ones are appropriate. But I already know, like I've already played around with it. And you can do blockchain exposure. You can read blockchain. So you can definitely trade information with the AI, the Nani AI, because I've done it. Whether it's a classic API or just directly on the blockchain, which actually has some advantages having it directly on the blockchain rather than API. So keep that between us and whoever's watching this video. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah. So it's definitely we can definitely integrate Nani as like a. But the one issue is I don't think there are any other Nani DAOs. Like I don't think you can spin up a separate Nani DAO. Like there's one giant Nani DAO.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Like it's that everyone shares a treasury. It's like, yeah.
So this makes the most sense though when we have like a pool going and a token, right? Because this is how it's gonna be managed.
Kind of,
From what?
except that it's its own legal entity. Yeah. It's its own legal entity. Like you're gonna have to if you want a Duna, if you not just Duna, but this specific Duna, this distributed unincorporated nonprofit association, this specific one, then yeah, you can use Nani. And within the Duna, you can be your own department, but it can't be a separate legal entity.
I mean, the technology can. It's just the way that they've structured it. But
Yeah,
it's all
well,
costs. We got good devs. We can do that.
well, I think the 508c1a nonprofit would qualify that I'm doing. That's the head of the PMA.
Qualify
So
what?
it would qualify as a Duna, as an unincorporated nonprofit, like this legal structure I'm setting up for Launchpad.
Yeah, but I said this Duna, not a Duna, this
Okay.
Duna.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're hoping that you can make a separate legal entity, and this could be an LLC. It doesn't really matter. So if you're using this interface, you're using it in that legal entity. Like if you're buying food at a restaurant, you're interacting in that legal entity. Yeah. So this is the provider. It's all floss, so we could spin out, but they haven't offered that as a product. So keep that in mind. And then if we build out our own system, our own instance, then we can use whatever legal entity potentially we want. I mean, it's just tailored to Duna. We definitely have the capacity to have a Duna. However, as it stands, it's this Nani Duna that we got to use.
Okay. So how do I apply what we just did to a prompt? Or is that pre-party? Is that like pre like can we use this right now? Or is this just training?
Yeah, we can definitely use it. If you want to be part of the Nani DAO, I'm part of the Nani DAO. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And whether you as a legal entity or as an individual wants to be part of the Nani DAO, I think that's also flexible. But it's you playing around in someone else's legal entity.
Sandbox.
And
Yeah.
yeah, but you can, when I say play around, the point of it is to be a facilitation space. So think of it more like, I don't know, like a public park, but privately managed. Well, it's really supposed to just be automated, perpetual motion. So there's not really a management. That's the whole idea of AI can open that up, and it running on a blockchain. So, and then having a finance wheel that then can maintain whatever the costs are. But so you basically, what I'm saying is you can still use it to manage your funds inside. So you could think of it like if you want to use it for a treasury, we could think of something like, well, I bet we can get the Nani team to potentially sign an agreement of some sort. Like we get because the Nani needs to be a signing party. Needs to be that takes something I want to build out in DAO values is if the DAO has capacity to negotiate and have a counterparty. Because I find a lot of
that's what they can't do basic business. That's where they fail. They can't negotiate. They can't be a counterparty. So, but assuming Nani team is an AI even can do that, well, yeah. Then we can have it that it's a management company. So I mean, so it's dealing with finances in the US, that'd be complicated because that's the base.
Go through regulation to be trustworthy, like Madoff or what have you. But that's where I see you using Nani, is using it as like a broker or whatever, on that kind of thing. Like a wealth management family office.
Sweet. So is there something that I should do in Nani to become part of the DAO? Or do I become just by joining with my wallet?
Yeah, I think you have to buy the tokens.
By the token.
And then you gotta have a reason to use it.
True that.
So I've got some stake wealth in there. Because I'm seeing it more, an investment family office kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you don't have that reason, then you might have to wait a little bit. Other than just, jumping in like we do here, understand what the underlying systems are, because they've got its on-label use, but we can definitely, like Farmverse, for instance. Farmverse is something we're going to have to force at some point. It's great, but it's not. There's just some points where it has to be opinionated, and it goes in the wrong direction. But most of it is unopinionated. It's really great technology, and so yeah, we do want to pay special attention to those innovations, even if they're a bit off label for us, like Nani or Chomper. Could do the first movers, and we might actually get a really great market share by doing an OEM and finding a really good product market fit while they build out the underlying technology for what their use case was. But it's their use case being the perfect product market fits. That's it's into their alignment. That has a chance of not happening. So that's where I compartmentalize Nani. There was something I wanted to. Oh yeah, can you go to ChatGPT and ask it what the DAO technology is? Can you ask it what it is?
It's got a DAO launcher.
Can you ask it how it's interacting with Hat Protocol?
Okay,
Yeah,
and then sorry, yeah,
it could be important.
and then can you ask it if Hat Protocol could be a member of a hat in a hat tree? Yeah, so if a specific hat in a hat tree can be a member of Nani DAOs. So do you see what I'm up to now?
Yeah.
So there's two parts to this. There's the API, which is now MCP, and we understand what an MCP is. So thank you. I needed to understand what it was. Now I do. And that really ties in nicely with this LLM compiler narrative that I was doing. And then so we've got the API or MCPs categorized in them pretty much the same place. And we also have Hat Protocol. So Hat Protocol, when we're is when we're looking at directories and files in our computer. That's how I see Hat Protocol for the world computer for Ethereum. I've been saying this for a while now. This tooling you just ask the AI about it's kind of it's starting to highlight the architecture I'm building out here. So it's a combination of APIs, AI, and Hat Protocol. So yeah, we'll explore it more in detail, and that's the why coordination network is really good. Because we can make the Hat tree, which we then can connect to Nani, and then avail ourselves to all the Nani AI specialization. So yeah, exciting. Thank you for going down the rabbit hole with me here.
Okay, so how do we apply this? Do we make a
Well,
container?
a container, right? What do you mean by container? I'm not doing it. What do you mean by?
Do we make one of these?
Oh, um, I think. Well, can you refresh that link? And then we've got this video. I think at this point, I mean,
Which
well,
link?
let's yeah, the back and check. The link you shared with me earlier, just to ask more
Okay,
questions, and
okay.
those questions are good. So if you can just refresh
Uh,
that, yeah. Okay, so we have this copy, and we have the transcript, yeah.
yeah.
But um, so let's see if it can design for us. Let's use the last 8 minutes to see if it can design for us what we did today. So yeah, parts to it. Um, one part is the I'm thinking. So I just don't know if it's going to be able to visualize it. I think I'm going to have to visualize it first, but I'm trying to figure out the right questions that they can even attempt to visualize it. So well, let's write it out first. At least we can list,
What
right? Yeah.
what if we just give it a picture of what we did already?
Well, yeah, that's going to take a while. But like, someone's got to generate the picture, and if we ask it a prompt, they can generate it quick. If not, I need like 30 minutes to sit down and figure out how to generate that picture.
Okay.
I think, but let's try this prompt and see where it takes us. And then maybe with this prompt, you also have a better sense of where the picture needs to go. So, and I understand, yeah, putting the picture in coordination.network, if we can figure that out, it would be cool. So basically, we're envisioning Hat Protocol. We're envisioning Hat Protocol as essentially the file system for 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 the world's computer. So that everything else in the world computer points to it. And for this reason, we see the Hat protocol as the as a blockchain objective uh, uh, um, similar function as blockchain objective, similar function as API slash NPCs. Okay, great. And then I would say, and then yeah, we're envisioning specific hats then being members to AI governed DAOs, which uh, yeah, as intersubjective members of AI governed DAOs. That and these AI governed DAOs use a combination of intersubjective, use a combination of objective uh, of, of objective smart contract methods and intersubjective API slash MCP oracles.
What?
MCP. Remember that idea we learned at the
Yeah.
beginning of this call there? Yeah. Okay, now that's it. So that's what it is descriptively. And then can you ask it to then generate an image of that?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here it comes. The next Ethereum. Oh shit. No, I mean generate the hat scheme. Freaking hilarious. There's all our hats. Ooh, damn, son.
Yeah, so it just doesn't really get it, and it's going to be tough to explain it because it's different dimensions and stuff. Anyway, so if you can just share that prompt you and I wrote together, if you can share it in the text here, so we've got a copy of it to build out our materials later. But yeah, I didn't think it would be able to accomplish this, and I need to sit more patiently. But I think that text is accurate. So we could give it to the graphic designer.
Oh wait, that's not it.
They could eventually they would crack that usually.
Okay. Okay, let me see. To be able to like talk to the specific. Okay. One. See that?
Yeah. Let me have a I mean, this is not helpful. I mean,
No.
look at our hatch. Look at our hatch tree. Look at it. Go to the hatch tree. 10/263. Yeah, you see, you got 10,259. So just change that to 263. Yeah. So this is the hats that we're dealing with already. So that simplification of just what the hats is doesn't at all kind of explain
Uh-huh.
what Nani is. So to me, the easiest way to do it is really just to go back to the hats tree. If you go back to the hat tree,
Oh yeah.
oh, oh, sure, yeah, whatever. It's anyway. So we would basically make a Nani agreement group. So the group is like a directory, doesn't have anyone actually can wear it. Just like a directory isn't itself a file, it just contains files. And then yeah, so then we would create one that's a Nani agreement, and then we would have at least three hats within that hat. One would be the approval, so allow list, but the allow list is effectively the uh, the DAO signers saying yes. And there's an agreement that's the agreement. That agreement is a signer agreement. So it's not just DAO signers. It's just people sign an agreement saying that they can be the signers. And then and you can go over to the left to see that. So that's in the support under support. So people who sign. There's comptroller, there's dispute, and then there's yeah, a little bit over more to the left, and you know see the signers. Yeah, so signers are there. Yeah. And then so
Yeah.
everyone has to sign the support agreement, a baseline support agreement, because all the support have some underlying obligation to, you know, to perform, and they're not just LARPing or whatever. And then there's the signers. That's a very special support. They can get the company into, or the organization will have you um, into a legal situation. And if you scroll over to the right, see the house. So the house of house of eight. In house of eight, you see down there. It's fractal of what the overall DAO is. So this is then where you see another signer. So the houses can have agents that can legally bind them, um, and then you know we can decide whether or not those agents can also legally bind the DAO, and you know all that complexity. But we at least have I think a good fractal template, and then build on it. So we have to modify it. We just want to build a little bit in front of ourselves because usually at least I find I build wrong until I find that kind of more fundamental pattern. And so I usually have to build, tear down. And, so I'd rather do that for stuff that's just directly in front of me rather than a bunch of stuff. Because if
Yeah.
it's directly in front of me, I have to change all like the six things after that. Then, okay, so basically, yeah. So we'd have one that says instead of patron, it would say Nani, and then we would do Hats Signergate V2. So can you look up in OpenAI what Hats Signergate V2 is?
What hats signer group is B2? Like that?
Yeah, yeah. And what is it saying here? Why don't we read while it's writing that? What your other question was? I'll answer that. Oh, scroll up. It does use Molly C4. Do you see that? If you scroll up, it does. Governance still did the Dagon Molly C4. Yeah. Okay. So if you scroll down, Hat Protocol 9
Fixie's a bit of a scavenger for the crumbs. Come on, baby. Like you, and he does have to stuff. What?
Recommendations.
You do Instagram.
Yeah, so basically customized roles. That's
Which is
what I'm suggesting.
You see them.
Essentially, it's just very simple. It's just a role in hats that runs a Nani member, because I think all Nani members are the same. So you could just, so where I would actually just for if all Nani members are the same. Well, actually, no, we wouldn't necessarily. So say you're managing your own wealth inside of Nani, and a few members of the DAO are. So I could see two different departments having two separate hats, and those different departments are managing their treasuries in Nani, but they have separate hats because they are actually different members in Nani. So that's an example of where we would use more than just one simple. The whole DAO has one entrance into Nani. So yeah, so I think we can do that on a case by case basis. Yeah. So what does Hat Center say? Hat Center contract. Great. So can you ask it? Can I log into Nani with Hat Signer Gate 2? Or is it just for safe? Okay, yeah. So scroll down. Custom hats.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, can you describe the smart contract plugin you think we'll need to sign into Nani with a specific hat?
Sign in with Nani hat.
Into Nani with a specific hat. And can you make it a bounty? Can you write it in a bounty, in a pirate bounty, as a pirate bounty?
Pirate?
I'm just joking around with pirate, but if you want to be silly right now, you can add this. It depends how silly you're feeling, but we're over time, so I'm starting to feel silly. And it's Friday, so yeah, whatever you want.
This is ridiculous. Oh my
Okay,
God.
great. That's great. So can you share this link with me?
Oh my God. Blows my mind.
And then let's jump into Hat's protocol. Chad, are you in the Hat's chat? Hat's dev chat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe share it as a text file or something like that. However, it's easy for them to get it. But ask them, does this make any sense? Yeah. And then just copy the bounty. Not all the text, but
Yeah. Okay. Which would be
you can probably just the bottom, that copy button at the bottom of it. Right there, that copy button. Yeah. Yeah, little wizard. Little wizard guy. That looks pretty good. Bada bing, bada boom. And just explain you're talking about Nani. If you reply, or you just tell that. Okay, well, we'll see what they say. But I think this is a good time to. Well, actually, let's do. If you've got a little bit of time, let's do one thing with coordination network. If you've got the bandwidth, no worries if you don't. But I wanted to choose something you can start to play with. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got 19 minutes.
Okay. So the hats grouping. Why don't you click? Can you click on the? There's a. See that dot that's in the bottom middle? Yeah. Click on that, and then click on the dot at the top middle for the node below. Yeah. Okay. I think we're all the way. See what happened. Ooh,
Yeah,
see that? Okay, so
yeah.
now do that. So now for the membership one, same thing. So the top or the bottom middle for the private membership agreement, and then go over to the link, the top middle, and then go into agreement for the top middle.
And then wait.
Well, yeah. So it's the interface is a little cumbersome. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, do it from that direction and then hit that. Okay, good. And then approve. Oh, it didn't fix. It'll fix. Yeah, I think that fixed. Click out of it so you can see a stick. Yeah, great. Effect. Okay, and then yeah, now do that same thing for approve. Do it for all four of those and or all five of those. Okay, and then so the private membership agreement one. Actually, now that I see this, that's well. This was grouping. It was gonna. This was just for the traditional hats grouping. Um. So
Okay.
can you copy that node? Make a copy of that node, and then let's go into that node and then change it to be a generic uh, agreement grouping. So wait. You copy easier. You can copy easier. I'm pretty sure if you just write. Can you not hit Control C on that node and hit Control V on the node? Yeah, Control V and then Control Z, then Control V. Does it not copy it?
No.
No. Okay, well, sure. Then, yeah, we're gonna have to just make a separate node and copy that information in that separate node.
Yeah.
And then let's change it.
Okay.
Yeah, sure thing. Just keep that one there. Just make a brand new node. With the plus button. Yes. And then give it the same name. Oh, don't put it there. No, don't put it there. That's the title. Remember, that's the title. So you want to put it below
Okay.
the title.
Okay.
Yeah. So just click below it. Yeah, but I don't know where the object is now. Where's the object? You see where the node is now? Where did it go? I think you lost it. The system is kind of buggy, so I don't think it's your fault. But yeah, so you can just copy paste the title in the other one, right? So just go to the other one. Oh, wait. Open this one up first because you're going to lose that content you had. So open this one up first. Wait. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Open the other one first. The new one.
and then go into the body of it and hit paste. Okay, good. Okay, we've got that. Now go into the old one. Go into the title. Control X.
And then go into the new one. Go to the title, highlight it all, Control V. Okay, good. Okay, great. So now this DAO hats grouping. I think you can actually delete hats grouping. What's inside of it though? Let's look what's inside of it first. Okay, so let's take this. Yeah, it's copy that content into the one below it. Not there. Not yeah. It is. Okay, so this is a hat. No working. Okay, great, perfect. Okay, and so yeah, get rid of that top one. Oh, actually, wait. We can use it. Let's use this top one. Let's use that one is actually it's admin link. Admin link. And then if you can you go to the hat that we have, the one just up there. Oh, you don't need to exit out of it. Just in the tab, I see it at the top there. The tab. This is make the hat tree in Hat's protocol. It's the last tab you have on your browser. Yeah. Okay, so in that one, if you go to the top, very top hat, the hat right below it. Yeah, so that has a autonomous admin. So can you put that in there? Is necessary for the autonomous admin. So yeah, go back into launcher, and so this is the description of that admin hat. So then in the description, necessary for the autonomous admin, which is necessary to for people to self mint hats. Great. Okay. Okay, good. And then we want to put above. Let's do one more of these, and call it a top hat.
Yeah, and then below that, the 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 the, the nonce NONC the nonce
For the entire collection of hat trees uh, on that particular chain, or the knots in the entire collection. Sorry, both would technically work. But yeah, there you go. That's it. Um, okay. So and oh, then can you do a line that the top hat is yeah. And then what is this thing we got below there? What is that thing below it? The clauses that will apply overall. Indemnity. Okay, so and then indemnity. I would do that in if you scroll up. Okay. Where do we want to put this? Hatch grouping, hatch grouping. Let's just leave this for later. I haven't thought about how we want to show in in coordination network how the hats hat chaining
Hmm.
how that works. So let's tackle that for another session.
All right.
Well, thanks a lot.
Okay. So stop presenting. Recording.